Y'all know the BC Indian McLarens don't make sense. These are the seven signs you're chosen. So you're gonna see the various signs, but they're all coming from the same place. It's because the Most High is literally trying to call you. Number one, being chased in your dreams. This is the enemy trying to invoke fear, provoke fear inside of you. Because when the Most High is trying to get you to understand your purpose and the gifts that you may have, the enemy wants to discourage you. He wants you to be depressed. They want you to literally fear coming into the light. So, what they're going to do in your dreams, they may manifest as zombies or any type of creature, and you really can't identify these creatures. But what's going on is you're running. You're consistently running. It's like you're afraid. You're unable to face what's in front of you. And that's really the ideal of them discouraging you. And number two, everything will fail. Basically, you will lose everything. Anything that is not driven by God, anything that is not coming from God will fail. So if you had a job that he doesn't want you at, because as a chosen one, you have to understand one thing: being chosen by God, meaning it's great responsibility. So if you're at a place that's dead end, that doesn't really benefit the kingdom, you will notice that you will get fired from that job. It's just like with a relationship. Two cannot be together unless they agree. So if you're in a relationship with somebody that's going to hinder your progress spiritually, then that relationship will fail. You will always tend to be like in a loop. You would think everything just ends the same way every single time. It's because God does not want you in that situation. So there's some people in life that can remain at a job. They can be a cashier forever. They can be this forever. But you cannot do that because you have a greater calling on your life. So if God is not involved, you're going to go through some up and down, maybe long suffering, because you're going to realize at one point that, you know what, I got to start getting on the straight and narrow path. Another thing is three, monitoring spirits slash gang stalking. This is a big one because when you're at a job, when you're at school, even in your family, remember, man's enemy is being his own household. So when you're dealing with monitoring spirits, how they work is you got to be very cautious who you share information with. That's why you don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Because monitoring spirits like to hinder God's blessings in your life. They want to make sure that whenever you're trying to elevate, they want to throw you off guard. That's when you call failing the test. So the Most High will give you certain tests to see if you can handle the things that comes with the blessings. Because he doesn't want you just to be in your home, going to work, having a routine life. He wants you to go out there highways and the byways. He wants you to hunger and thirst after the word. And when you're trying to do those things, you're going to encounter monitoring spirits. These people are going to try to literally put you in situations where they falsely accuse you of things. That's why you'll be at school or at a job, it doesn't matter where it's at. And then you will find yourself in situations where they will say that you did this and you never did. They'll say that you was participating in something that literally got you fired or got you in a place where you probably have to leave that school or that predicament. And that's what monitoring spirits do. Gang stalking is when they all come together at the end, and you'll notice it seems like everyone is against you. So what the devil try to do is cause confusion. I cause confusion because when you're in the truth, and he make it seem as if the truth is not the truth, because woe to them that call evil good and good evil, right? So when he try to confuse you and you literally fall for it, that's why when persecution and affliction arise, those that are not steadfast, they will fall. Now, when it goes back to being betrayed by friends and family, it goes back to a man enemies being in his household, right? So being betrayed by your friends and close family members when you enter in the straight and narrow path, because they will think of you strange. Now that you have gained God morals, now that you have gained a certain level of spiritual consciousness, your family will be against it. Because if they're not on the straight and narrow path, if they don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of God, they will be your enemy. It's like being plugged into the matrix. Anybody that's still plugged into the matrix is a potential enemy. That's why when Christ literally, rebuked Peter for the devil trying to stop the will of God, and he rebuked Peter. That's what happens with family members. That's why he said anybody love his mother, his father, sister, brother, children more than him is not worthy of him. Because a lot of people go astray through the family. being in these prosperity gospels when it comes to their churches, when they're following these high-minded pastors and preachers that preach good words and fair speeches. That's where that comes from. And then a lot of people fall victim to their family because their family are literally trapped sometimes. That's what familiar spirits work. Familiar spirits work through family members because they're familiarized themselves with your family. They have been in your family for generation to generation to stop you from ever reaching that higher level of consciousness with God to be saved. Now, number five is separation. That's why to be set apart. It's having conviction, self-examination. Examine yourself daily. When you're set apart and you're no longer conformed to the world, that you know that God is in you. Because remember, if you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy with God's, right? So long as you're separate from the world and you're not going after the traditions of men, you are in the right place. And that shows that you are chosen because you're no longer conforming to it. You're no longer allowing the things of this world to tempt you to sin. Number six, God will speak to you. He will use people. He will use dreams. Pay attention to your dreams is very vital because he said young men and young women will prophesize, right? They will have dreams. And that's why some dreams that you will remember, you will notice those are spiritual dreams. If you're able to decipher and to interpret your dreams, not only will it be a blessing to you, but it will also kind of forbid you and get you not in situations in the future that could potentially be fatal or dangerous. That's why I said a prudent man foreseeth danger. So if you're able to interpret your dreams, but that comes with spiritual growth, you got to be able to exercise your gifts in order to interpret these dreams, because dreams, believe me, will save your life, and not only will save others and keep you out of situations and actually give you more insight on the word of God. Number seven is a hard life. Remember, you are chosen in the ministry of a furnace. You're chosen in a situation where you literally have to be molded and craft. He chastised the ones he loved. So when you're truly a chosen one, your life is not going to be easy because you have to understand that you're in the middle of a war zone. We're dealing with spiritual warfare, principality, spiritual wickedness in high places. You're dealing with those things. So if you're not able to realize that you have to put on the full armor of God, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, right? You have to be able to fight past these things, and it's going to be tough. But as long as you steadfast, as long as you have the ability to fight and thread over these serpents and scorpions, then you'll be able to make it. But these are the seven signs that you're a chosen one. And it's very vital for y'all to understand each sign because that's going to really give you the confidence to realize that you're a chosen one, because I know life can be, hard. I know these things can be hard to grasp, but as long as you be focused on God and you eat of this scroll, you'll be fine. All right, be for it. All right.